Hello and welcome. In this video tutorial, we're going to take a look at the solutions to the homework for Unit 7, Lesson 7 on placing circles in standard form. Remember to pause or rewind the video as necessary. Let's begin. A big part of the skill you're going to need in this particular section to write the equation of a circle in standard form is to be able to complete the square. Specifically, you have to be able to complete the square twice. To do this, you have to complete the square for the x and the y terms, and then rewrite it so that you can identify the center and the radius. Let's begin. Number one, letter A. Let's rewrite this as x squared plus 8x plus leave some space plus y squared minus 2y plus leave some space. Leave a little more space and then equals 8. Well, underneath each space, we're going to write b over 2 squared because that's how we find that third term. Well, the b term, first we identify the b term, which is 8. Take half of 8, which is 4, and 4 squared is 16. So we'll add 16 here and simultaneously subtract 16 over here. Again, we're going to identify the b term. The b term for the y section is -2. Take half is -1. Square that, we get 1. Subtract 1 over here. Now for the next part, we are going to section off the x and y terms and combine those numbers. So if we rewrite this, we get x plus 4 squared plus y minus 1 squared minus 17 equals 8. We're going to add 17 to both sides. And we get x plus 4 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 25. Last step, we're going to rewrite it in proper form. So this is going to be x minus 4 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 5 squared. Your center is coordinate points 4, 1, negative 4, 1, with a radius of 5. Letter B. First, let's begin by expanding out this problem. We get x squared minus 6x plus leave some space for b over 2 squared plus y squared minus 20y plus leave some space for b over 2 squared. So we got to do it twice. Now leave a little more space and then write your equals 20. So just spread that out. Well, the first b term is -6. So take half of that, it's -3. Square it, we get 9. So add 9 there, subtract 9 over here. Your second b term is -20. Take half is 10, -10. Square 10, we get 100. So we're going to subtract 100 over here. Let's add those two negative numbers while simultaneously grouping your x and y terms into perfect square binomials. The first perfect square binomial would be x minus 3 squared plus y minus 10 squared. Minus 109 equals 12. Let's go ahead and add the 109 to both sides. And rewriting this, we get x minus 3 squared plus y minus 10 squared equals 121. I'm just going to rewrite this one more time. X minus 3 squared plus y minus 10 squared equals 11 squared. 121 is 11 squared. My center would be 310 with a radius of 11. Letter C. Let's spread this out. X squared minus 16x plus leave some space for b over 2 squared plus y squared plus 10y plus leave some space for b over 2 squared. Leave a little more space, and then plus 88 equals 0. Your first b term is -16. Take half of that is -8. Square it, we get 64. So add 64 and subtract 64 here. My second b term is 10. Take half of that is 5. Square it, we get 25. So add 25 here, subtract 25 there. Let's go ahead and group your x and y terms and combine all three of these numbers here. And we get x minus 8 quantity squared plus y plus 5 quantity squared. And if we add -64 plus or minus 25, that's -89, plus 88, this whole thing adds up to -1. Then of course plus equals 0. So we'll go ahead and add the 1 to both sides and rewrite this thing as x minus 8 quantity squared plus y minus a minus 5 quantity squared equals 1 squared. Your center is going to be at 8, -5. Sorry, 8, -5 with a radius of 1. Letter D. Looks like we're missing some terms here. Well, so the x terms, let's spread out the x terms. We get x squared plus 8x plus leave some space for b over 2 squared plus y squared. Now you'll notice there is no y term after the y squared. So we don't need to complete the squared on the y term, only the x term. You only have to complete the squared when you have an x term and an x, and then a y squared term and a y. So when you have two x terms and two y terms, you'll complete the square twice. We only have two x terms and one y term, so we only need to complete the square once just for the x terms here. And we'll leave a little space for the completing square of the x terms, and then equals 84. Well, the b term is 8, half of 8 is 4. Square it, we get 16, subtract 16 over here. And we can group this while simultaneously adding 16 to both sides. Then we get 8 plus, or x plus 4 quantity squared plus y squared equals 84 plus 16, which is 100. Now let's rewrite this. This would be x minus a minus 4 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals 10 squared. Well, your radius, the center, excuse me, the coordinate points of your center would be 4, 0 with a radius of 10. Negative 4, 0, not 4. Negative 4, 0 is the radius center with a radius of 10. Now, in letter E and F, your lead coefficient is not 1. So in order to make the lead coefficient 1, you need to divide all the terms by that lead coefficient. Now, luckily, the lead coefficient in front of x squared and y squared is the same number. It's 3. So you're going to divide by whatever the lead coefficient is in front of x squared and y squared. So we're going to divide everything by 3. Let's start this problem this way. And then as we do, we're going to get x squared plus 42. So we have x squared plus, and then we're going to do 42 divided by 3. So 42 divided by 3 is 14 x plus y squared plus 4y equals 11. So we're breaking everything down by dividing everything by 3. Now let's spread it out. So we have x squared plus 14x plus leave some space for the b over 2 term here. Okay, plus y squared plus 4y plus leave some space for the b over squared term here. Leave a little space equals 11. Now here's your b term. Half of 14 is 7. Square it, we get 49. Subtract the 49 here. Here's our b term over here. Half of 4 is 2. Square it, we get 4. Subtract the 4 over here as well. Add those numbers, those negative numbers, and group your x and y term into perfect square binomials. And we get x plus 7 squared plus y plus 2 quantity squared minus 53 equals 11. And go ahead and add the 53 to both sides. And we get x plus 7 quantity squared plus y plus 2 quantity squared equals 64. Finally, let's rewrite this in proper form. This would be x minus a minus 7 quantity squared plus y minus a minus 2 quantity squared equals 8 squared. This would have a center of negative 7 and negative 2 with a radius of 8. Letter F. Let's start off the same way. Let's divide everything by 2. And then let's rewrite this. This would be x squared plus y squared minus 10x plus 12y equals 166 over 2 be 83. Now spread it out. Make sure you match your x terms. So x squared minus 10x, see they put them in different orders, right? Minus 10x plus leave some space for b over 2 squared plus y squared plus 12y plus leave some space for b over 2 squared. And then leave a little space with an equals 83 over in the end. Okay, your first b term is negative 10. Half of that is 5. Square it, we get 25. Subtract 25 from here. Your second b term is 12. Half of that is 6. Square it, we get 36. Minus 36 over here too. So we're going to go ahead and add those negative numbers together and group our x and y terms into perfect square binomials. Our first perfect square binomial is x minus 5 quantity squared plus our second one is y plus 6 quantity squared. Now 25 and 36 combine to give you negative 61, right, equals 83. Go ahead and add the 61 to both sides, like so. And we get x minus 5 quantity squared plus y plus 6 quantity squared equals 83 plus 61. Well, that's 144. And your last step is to rewrite it in proper form so you can identify your center and radius. So x minus 5 quantity squared plus y minus a minus 6 quantity squared equals 12 squared. This would have a radius of, a center, excuse me, of 5, negative 6 with a radius of 12. Okay, now number 2, we're kind of doing the same thing, but we're going to complete the square to specifically identify the radius. So here we go. X squared minus 8x plus leave some space for b over 2 squared plus y squared plus 6y plus leave some space for b over 2 squared equals, leave more space, equals 13. Your b term, first one is -8. Half of that would be 4 squared. We get 16. Subtract the 16 over here. Your b term over here would be 6. Half of that is 3. Square that, we get 9. So let's go ahead and subtract those numbers. Let's go ahead and group these. And we get x minus 4 quantity squared plus y plus 3 quantity squared minus 25 equals 13. Add the 25 to both sides. And we get x minus 4 quantity squared plus y plus 3 quantity squared equals 13 plus 25, or 38. Well, the radius, if r squared equals 38, then square root both sides, and r would be the square root of 38. Now, since all your answers are decimals, then go ahead and take the square root of 38, and you get about 6.2, which is option 4. Which of the following would have a maximum value on the circle as shown? Well, first, come up with the equation of the circle so you can figure out what the center is. The maximum y value would just be the y coordinate of the center plus the radius. So let's figure out what that is. This is going to be x squared plus 10x plus leave some space plus y squared minus 4y plus leave some space equals 71. Okay, so b over 2 squared. So half of 10 is 5 squared. We get 25. Subtract 25 here. Half of -4 is 2, so we're going to square that. Add 4 here. Subtract 4 here. Add those. Group these. And we get x plus 5 quantity squared plus y minus 2 quantity squared. Now 25 minus 4, minus 25 minus 4 is -29 equals 71. Go ahead and add the 29 to both sides. Okay, and we get x minus a minus 5 quantity squared plus y minus 2 quantity squared equals 100. So we have a radius of 10, and we have a center at -5, 2. So the y coordinate is 2. Your y maximum is just simply going to be whatever your y coordinate is plus the radius. So your y coordinate is 2 plus your radius was 10. So the maximum y value that the circle will get to has to be 12. Okay, which of the following is the length of the diameter? Well, let's find the radius and then double it. So we're going to go x squared minus 16x plus leave some space plus y squared, and then plus 39 equals 0. Completing the square here, we have -8 squared, we get 64, so subtract 64 here. We're going to group this, and we're going to add those numbers there. We get x minus 8 quantity squared plus y minus 0 quantity squared, and then -64 and 39 give you -25. Add 25 to both sides, we get x minus 8 quantity squared plus y minus 0 quantity squared equals 25, which means the radius equals 5. Now, if the radius equals 5, the diameter, which is 2 times the radius, would equal 10. And then graphically, if we're going to show this right here, we're going to first plot y equals x plus 2. So go to x plus 2, and then the slope is 1 over 1, so we're going to go up 1 over 1. And then we're going to graph a line all the way through, straight line just like that. Then we're going to complete the square twice on this one and graph it. So x squared minus 6x plus leave some space plus y squared plus 2y plus leave some space equals 26. So half of 6 is 3. Square it, we get 9. Go ahead and subtract 9 here. Half of 2 is 1. Square it, we get 1. Go ahead and subtract 1 over here. This becomes x minus 3 quantity squared plus y plus 1 quantity squared. Let me group those. And then you need to combine the -9 and -1 to get -10 equal 26. Go ahead and add 10 to both sides. And let's rewrite this as x minus 3 quantity squared, y minus a minus 1 quantity squared equals 36. But 36 is, that's 36, would be 6 squared. So we get a center of 3, -1, and a radius of 6. So there's your center. There's your radius. Now let's plot this. Go 3 down 1 over 3 down 1. There's your center. Now you have a radius of 6. So we're going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the left. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. And when you complete the circle, you'll see that the circle and the line intersect each other at those 2 points right there. Therefore, the solutions are, that first solution down there would be -3 comma -1. That's the solution here. And 3 comma 5. That would be this solution here. I hope you found this video tutorial helpful. Please remember to rewind and pause as necessary. And thank you.